Good morning, sunshine. I'm Mackenzie Roth. It is time to wake up and smell the money. This is All Indiana Bets.
My name is Jason Hammer, and I'm wondering if it's time to go to the bar yet.
Almost.
And I am Scott Long, continuing to bring winners to all the winners watching this show, and a couple losers too.
This is All Indiana Bets, presented by LUNAZUL Tequila. Feed the wolf.
Good morning. Welcome to another week of All Indiana Bets. I'm here with my boys, Jason Hammer. We got Scott Long in the mix. Fellas, it is week 4, college football. How are you guys feeling, first of all?
I'm feeling great. I'm happy to be here with you folks. We've had a good run here, but I'm not gonna lie. The schedule this week is not my favorite.
Okay.
So far, what college football has given us is a good week and a bad week. A good week and a bad week in terms of games. There's a few games that are okay today, but as a whole, Scott, I don't know about you, I'm not real excited about the slate we have in front of us.
Right now, I feel like I could pick winners at like a 7-year-old like lacrosse game or something, you know. I mean, I'm 11-4. I'm 4-1 last week. You were 4-1 last week. So, is it a week where you're really excited about the games? No, but we're excited about picking winners.
Look at the fire! Look at the fire!
Oh, look at our super producers. We're on fire.
We are.
Oh man!
So, I guess we've got this big game today, and it is a good game. I'm looking forward to watching the game. It's Wisconsin versus Notre Dame in Soldier Field. It's called what, the Shamrock?
Shamrock Series.
Okay.
All right.
So, Jason, what's your thoughts on that game?
First of all, I love the fire graphic, by the way. Now, we had to fire 15 people to afford this graphic, but that sums up this show right now.
We had a 2-hour meeting about if we could use this graphic, and now we're just going to let it roll the rest of the show. We should bring that back throughout the show.
That graphic looks like one of those logs that they have on like a really cheap UHF station at 3 in the morning. I mean, that's high grade there.
Screensaver.
Yeah, it is kind of a screensaver.
In your living room. I love it.
But it's accurate, and we're going to have picks throughout the show, so make sure you stay all the way through. But the big game today is Wisconsin and Notre Dame, the Jack Cohn Bowl, because here is a quarterback for Notre Dame who once was Wisconsin's quarterback, and for whatever reason, maybe he feels like he was done dirty. He transfers around, and now it's the biggest game on the schedule. Okay. I think this is more of a regional big game. I think people care about this in Indiana, in Michigan, in the Midwest, certainly in Wisconsin. But I'm wondering if somebody in Florida, somebody in Nebraska, somebody in Nevada or California actually cares about this game, because I think it's the best game on the slate.
I care about it so much that I don't feel like I should even sit in this chair. Can I switch with you for a second? I haven't really talked to you.
You just want to sit next to Mackenzie.
I
do.
You know, I like
Switch.
the
No,
drama,
get up.
though, that there's like tea with this game, right?
Yeah.
It's like someone's been done dirty.
Yeah, this is
and
where.
it's back for vengeance.
This is like, I
understand that.
Yeah.
I call this the Scott Long TED Talk of sports today.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Okay.
Your first
So, in life, how often have you been, as you said, done dirty, and you get a chance to shove it back in their face? Think about a moment in your life, Mackenzie, maybe in your work career or something, where you weren't treated fairly, but you maybe got away down the road where you're like, look at me now, huh?
That's right,
Does that
baby.
happen? I bet
Absolutely.
a number of times.
It's always chestnut checkers, and that's like the sweetest revenge. You
Yeah.
go on the low, and then poof. Yeah.
That can happen to Jason. I feel like your whole career, you've been walking around with a can of Pringles of size of a chip on your shoulder. And I'm not even going to get into it with you because I have a feeling there could be lawsuits with you. Because you will use names. You will name names.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what happened. We said Jack Cohn was the quarterback of Wisconsin.
All right.
And he had a great record there. He passed for almost 70% completion rate. He took him to the Big Ten championship game, but a new freshman came in who was highly rated, and they thought, we're going to put Graham Mertz in. So he transfers. What do you think when he transferred to Notre Dame? He looked at that schedule and goes, You mean we're going to play my school, Wisconsin? This is my chance. How often, that's what sports is so awesome. The other night, let's call it last night, because it was last night, I get on the phone with my son, because I'm out of town.
Okay.
He's got a big game against this team that we tried out for this summer.
Right.
We thought it's one step up, and they didn't pick him. And he was pretty hot about it. I was kind of frustrated with it. I'm like, here's your opportunity. Dude,
Yes, dude.
This is your chance to actually compete against this team that turned you down. That's what's happening with Jack. That's why I like Wisconsin better as a team, but that chip on the shoulder with Jack is going to be problematic for Wisconsin. That's why if I was going to lean with all those points, I'd probably take Notre Dame. Not one of our best bets or anything, but if you're going to pick on that game, I would go the Irish.
All right, Fighting Irish.
So I have two things that I'm curious about. Number one, if you're a Notre Dame bettor here, do you feel good about this? You're getting 6. You've got a quarterback with a chip on his shoulder, and I think you have a better head coach. You have a head coach that is about to become the all-time winningest coach at Notre Dame. So I think that's a pretty strong statement if you're an Irish backer, and do you feel good about that? And number two, what happened in that game?
Oh, with my son?
yeah,
yes.
what happened? We want to hear the story.
So I'm getting the play-by-play from my wife because I'm out on the road.
It's like your own personal Rudy.
Well, I wouldn't say my son's Rudy, okay, by the way. He shouldn't have been picked if he was Rudy. But, okay, so he plays really well, but they're down 2-1, 5 minutes left in the game. He kicks an amazing goal, ties it up. Now, in Europe, this would be like a historic show because it's soccer. They tied the game. In America, you're like, big deal, he tied the game. That's what sucks about soccer and not football. But he did tie the game. That was the end of the game. They tied 2-2. They kind of overachieved. He had a great moment. And that's where I see Jack Cohen having that advantage today.
All right. All right, you guys want to take a quick look at the scorecard?
I would love to.
All right, let's take a look.
I would love
Let's take
to.
a
Let's
look.
do that.
Shall we? All right, here we go. They're going to get this up. All right.
Now, this is the segment that we do at the end of the program where we have 3 games. This does not include the Degenerate special, which we nailed again last week. This does not include the Penn State pick that we nailed last week.
By the way, so many messages flooding in. People made money hand over foot, like crazy money last week.
Yeah.
And I was in on the Irish last week as well.
Yeah.
But these were the final 3 games that I put on the card. The only game I lost last week was the one I felt the best about, which was Alabama covering 14. They got up by 18. I thought we were on cruise control here. They hit the over in that game, but that was the only one that I missed last week.
I always like to put on my glasses when it's Scott's turn. Oh, 3-0. Look at that.
This man is on fire.
Oh, can we put that?
No, you can't anymore.
I said man, so you can't be
that's
copyrighted.
true. What I would tell you is that 4-1 for last week. I'm like 73% in college. I was looking at the ESPN guys, the ones that are online, that are their experts, a lot of them that are on their gambling show. They suck. They suck. There's
say it like it is.
There's some yodel from Indianapolis that is just like taking names and kicking butt up and down the field, and let's continue to do it this week. What do we say, people? Come on!
LFG. Let's do this thing. LFG. Let's go.
We're going to make it rain just for you. And coming up, we catch up with comedian and author Chelsea Handler on how she typically bets and what she's won and what she's lost. Up next. Welcome back to All Indiana Bets. We are so glad you're here. You know, comedian Chelsea Handler, she's bringing her tour. My co-host, big fans of the name, Vaccinated and Horny. 2 of them you're on.
Okay, no, stop a second. No. Okay.
You're going to have to tell me what the name of that tour is one more time.
It's how you feel every day. I mean, basically, right? I got up with the funny lady to talk betting and cocktails.
I have no real guiding to my betting. It's just if someone brings it up and I think, oh, hey, that sounds like a fun. What are the odds? But I have won money. I've won a lot of money betting on football games of which I knew nothing about. So I hold on to that as proof that I am a good luck charm.
So wait a minute, hold on. Why do I get yelled at all the time on this show? Why is everybody so concerned about the things that I'm going to say? It said horny on the screen. Like, we can put that on there?
She's a comedian. I'm just telling you, my whole life, I've gotten away with stuff as an adult. Oh, what did you just say? Oh, he's a comedian.
He's a comedian.
It's the greatest little bonus when you walk in the room.
It is. WishTV.com is also the spot. The entire video is up of our interview, and she talks cocktails, which is really fun. But I want to talk my Hoosiers. IU, baby. All right, let's talk.
So this is not a gimme for Indiana today at all. So Indiana's on the road at Western Kentucky, and you've got a situation where a power conference team is going on the road against a non-power conference team, and Indiana's a favorite in this one. This is a tricky game because Western Kentucky can put some points up here.
Right.
Was studying a little bit about the Hilltoppers, and if you look at what they do offensively here,
that's Western Kentucky, by the way, because no one would know what the Hilltoppers are. Right?
Western Kentucky, the Hilltoppers.
Okay, sure, okay.
I like he's like a big duh.
47 points per game, 532 yards per game.
Yeah. Okay.
So Indiana's going to need to put some points up here because I feel like Western is going to put some points up. So that all comes down to the quarterback situation and Michael Penix. What is the leash going to be like for the Hoosiers today if he goes out and has a rough first quarter?
I don't care about this game. Let's move on to the next one.
No, really?
No,
you just
I don't care. I don't care. We've already given a lot of attention to Indiana. They can win this game. They can get back on the show. Okay. Then we'll talk about them more when they play a Big Ten team.
Okay.
9's a big number, though. This is not one of my favorite bets on the board here, but look at that over-under at 63.
Yeah.
I think if you're considering something, maybe take a look at that over on 63.
What's the next game?
Well, how about we focus
Scott's
on
not into it.
some of the games that people are betting on. These are the top 5 games people are betting on.
Now, this
Top
is
5,
interesting.
baby.
This is interesting.
Here we go.
I bet if we were talking about Iowa, you'd want to do a 3-hour segment
They're the
there.
5th-ranked team in this country. Go ahead, please.
Of course, Notre Dame, Wisconsin, the signature game today. And then you look at the rest of these games, and yes, there are some interesting games. These are the most wagered on. But this tells you everything you need to know about this schedule. And you know who I blame for this, Mackenzie?
Oh, who's that?
The Tennessee Volunteers.
The Vols, your Vols.
Because
Why?
Tennessee and Florida is today, and that used to be the marquee game on the schedule.
Yeah.
But for the better portion of about 20 years, my Volunteers have been trash.
Yep.
So take that out of the equation today. Now we're talking about Michigan and Rutgers. We've got Iowa State on the board, Oklahoma, West Virginia. These are the most wagered on games, which tells you this is a bad week.
And this is a situation where, as a gambler, you still can have fun because you're trying to bet on the game. But if you're like, oh my gosh, these are spectacular games, I wouldn't think you'd even want to watch. But
all the more reason
betting,
you should bet to make it more exciting and interesting and win some money. All right, hey, coming up next, it's time for another long shot with the man, Scott Long.
The flamethrower.
The flamethrower, don't go anywhere.
Look at these new graphics we've got. I guess appears like maybe the person that's running this this operation here has been betting on our games, you know, and then they had some budget. So here we go today. There's a lot of pressure. I hope we can keep these graphics. I don't know.
Don't let the graphics down,
or
Scott.
More people got fired just for this for you, Scott. So don't feel guilty.
I feel like maybe we're just renting them for the week. So, so let's hope. So here we go. The long shot is all, and they've been great. I think I've won all 3. I haven't checked, but I believe basically.
You've checked, and yes, they have.
I look at this spread and it's like, okay, it's a conference game. Michigan is 20.5 points. This is the same Michigan team that refused to show up to Iowa and Ohio State at the end of last season because they sucked so badly. And now they're 20.5 point favorites. I am loving Rutgers in this situation. I think this game could be very likely to be a touchdown game. So take The Scarlet Knights, that's Rutgers, by the way. The Scarlet Knights. That's how bad they've been in sports. People don't even know what their mascot is, and they really need to work on it. I'm sure people that are Scarlet or named Scarlet find it offensive.
I feel like it's seductive. I like it.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
I just made that
Okay,
up.
we can go into that conversation. Let's do that.
I just said that.
Okay.
I don't know. It just sounds a little
That
bit.
feels like a big number, though, and I'm with you on that one. I kind of am leaning a little bit on the over on this game. When you look at the points per game each one of these teams have currently, you add it together, it's at 88. Now, the over-under is at 50 today.
That looks good. You're right.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about that over on that one. What are we thinking about with Akron at Ohio State? Look at this line, 48.5. Ohio State is a home favorite by 48.5. Scott, have you ever bet in your degenerate life a number 48.5?
Once, and I actually lost it as getting the points, because that's fun to get to play a game where you have basically 7 touchdowns to work with before the game. This is going to be one of my best bets, so hang on to the end of the game or the end of this show. We're going to talk about that one. Exciting, though.
If you have ever bet something this big, tweet at any one of us, because we'll read it on the show here.
We certainly will.
At Jason Allen Hammer is my Twitter. Mackenzie, yours?
At McKinsey, McKinzie.
And I am at Scott Comedy. And get a hold of us and tell us what you think and what you love about the show. Really, there hasn't been any negativity,
We'll read
so
it.
you don't need to send that.
Has.
Bring the hate mail on. Trust me, you won't be the first one. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, man, coming up, it's the Evan Williams best bet. Now, these are the games you guys feel will make the most money for you. We'll be right back.
The Best Bet is brought to you by Evan Williams. Bourbon done right.
Welcome back to All Indiana Bets. Are you doing okay? I know you were kind of like, you've been doing squats and you were scared that you're falling out of your
Well, we had to
there.
move the set because God bless producer Peggy. They gave me the space for somebody like you in the middle here. And when I got here, I sat down, my butt is so fat, I almost broke both tables.
Yep.
So I said, we're gonna have to make some adjustments
And
here.
I said he's a thick legend. That's it. That's where you go. You flex that.
Can you say that one more time?
Thick legend right here.
There we go.
And you know what he does also? He makes you money. Both of you, everyone does. It's the Evan Williams best bet. You guys ready for that?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna go ahead and start here. And when you need somebody to lose a game, there's only one team you go to, and that's the University of Connecticut. Okay? So this isn't completely me being all in on Wyoming. This is a complete fade of UConn. Now, for those of you who don't know what fade means, it's you bet against somebody every single week, regardless of the circumstance. Here's all you need to know about UConn. These are the points they've given up this year: 45, 38, 49, and 52. They gave up 38 points to Holy Cross. Holy Cross. These are the points they've scored: 0, 0, 28, 21. Now, factor that in with the Wyoming team that is undefeated, that is pretty good. They took Ball State to the shed last weekend. I feel pretty confident, even though this is a big number, that Wyoming defense will travel, offense will travel. They will cover this big number and beat UConn. That is my best bet.
I like that. With authority.
I like it.
Scott, what you got?
I'm kind of a thick-legged legend too, but I will share that my best bet this week is UCLA. I see the big bounce back after them losing last minute to Fresno State. Stanford all of a sudden is playing well. Here's the deal. If you didn't notice, Stanford last year practically didn't play any games because COVID was really a concern, especially I guess when you produce epidemiologist at your school, you get a little extra freaked out over it. They are no good at home. No one shows up to Stanford games. They're busy in the library. UCLA has, this is like a home game for UCLA. I love UCLA in this situation. Stanford is up and down. UCLA is going to be coming back. I think that they're right there with Oregon as the best teams in the Pac-12. Go with the Bruins against the Cardinals. specials.
Ooh, all right. Now, guys, put on, we were just talking about being in the library, put on your teacher caps. We're going to talk about some terms. What does parlay mean? Because people were tweeting at us. They want to know, just break it down if people are just getting into the game.
So a parlay bet is where you have multiple bets into one big bet.
Okay.
But you have to get every single one of them right to win. Now, it's a big payout if you win, but I'm not a big parlay guy. I've always thought parlay bets were kind of sucker bets, but a lot of people do them. Listen, and if you're going to do one, this is the best advice that I can give you. For this week only, let's break this down just a little bit.
All right.
I am going to lay out Toledo -5.5 at Ball State. Purdue -11 against Illinois. Now, Purdue is -2 skill players, so this does scare me just a little bit. If you want to go under on that game instead of Purdue -11, I would understand that. Rutgers and Michigan over 50. NC State picking up 10 points on the road at Clemson. If you're on a budget, if you don't have a lot of money, if you're balling on a budget here, you can bet $5 to win around 67 with this bet.
Wow, all
Again,
right.
It's tough to win these things. Very rarely do people hit parlays. They always brag about it when they do.
Of course.
They never brag when they lose the 5, 6 in a row. So
But
if
I
you're
like that. For
balling on a
$5,
budget,
if you want to dip your toe in,
yeah,
it's a
it's
great
fun.
way to do it.
you can make a lot of money with
Yeah.
a little bit of money in a quick amount of time.
It's the scratch-off ticket of sports gambling.
It really is. That's
Perfect.
a perfect way to put this.
That's what I do here. Perfect.
Can I go to the bar now? Because I'm getting the shakes.
Yes, it's time to go to the bar. Coming up, speaking of the Degenerate Special with
Oh, let's go!
And he'll be feeling good for it. We'll be right back. You know, we try to make it till noon, but we really just can never make it. All right, you still got it, Hammer. Nice. Mixing up these
Still
drinks.
got it.
You still got it.
That is what you say to like an old dude who is way past his prime, that is limping toward the finish line of his pathetic life. Hey, you still got it. Every once in a while, you don't look like a grandpa. Hey, thanks.
Let me
Let's
give
do
a
a cheers.
toast to the audience members who are telling their friends about this
Yes,
amazing show.
we
Thank
really
you
appreciate
very
it.
much.
Word of mouth.
Thank you.
Let's try this. What is
You
this?
are amazing.
This is pineapple juice with tequila. Pineapple juice with tequila.
Okay,
Ooh,
I love
that is
LUNAZUL
delicious.
Tequila.
It's
Yeah.
the best.
Why
The
is there
best.
fruit juice in it? Why don't I just
I
get a
love it.
shot? I don't even
love
like.
it.
I don't even
Gotta
like
get your
fruit
nutrients
on the
in.
side of my tequila shot.
All right,
All
we
right.
got it. We have to get to the Degenerate
Yeah, I'll still
Special.
drink
What'd
it.
you find for today, Hammer?
So I guess my question is it really a degenerate pick if it's teams from power conferences? Scott?
If it's one team, there's one team that could make it still degenerate.
What about Kansas at
That
Duke?
is the team. That is
Okay.
the team.
Ah, ding ding.
Now,
That'd be a great college basketball.
this
game.
would be a phenomenal basketball game in a heartbeat. It's the marquee basketball game, but as a football game, this thing stinks. And Kansas on the road traveling to Duke. Kansas is a hot mess. When it comes to just fading teams all year, and again, we talked about what fade means, you look at UConn and you look at Kansas as the bottom feeders of Division I football. So here's what we're going to do here. The Degenerate Special's been on fire. We hit it last week. We hit the week before. We're going to hit it this week again. We're going to lay 16.5. We're going to pick up Duke at home against the Jayhawks of Kansas. Make that bet right now. You will be going to the bank later, my friends. That is your Degenerate Special.
I love it. I love it with passion. I like that. All right.
And in no way is that tequila talking.
Absolutely not. All right, hey, coming up, you guys, we have the wise guy, Alan Cashman.
The cash man.
He's done. Don't go anywhere.
Here we go, our Wise Guy segment with our college betting expert, Alan Cashman. Alan, tell us about what you see happening this week.
Tough slate of games. I found a couple here for your viewers. We're going to take Texas San Antonio plus 3.5 for 1 unit at Memphis. Memphis very fortunate in a win over Mississippi State last week. Mississippi State dominated the box score, but they just couldn't overcome some earlier mistakes. This is not a very good Memphis team on defense. And Texas State, they're fast-paced and balanced on offense. I think it's a letdown spot for Memphis after that win last week. They're 3-9 against the spread following a win, and Texas San Antonio 7-1 against the spread as a road dog. So I'm going to take Texas San Antonio plus 3.5.
I will just mention to the viewers that this is one of my games I'm looking at the end of the show on the pick segment. Wow, that information, hard to argue. Let's go with your other best bet for the week, Alan.
Okay, we're going to go with Boston College plus 2. They're playing Missouri. Missouri off to a good offensive team, but not very good on defense. They've allowed 800 yards rushing the first 3 games. They allowed 8.2 yards per carry to Southeast Missouri State last week. Boston College starting a second-string quarterback in Dennis Grosel. He's a good pocket presence, can make some plays with his feet. Boston College is balanced. I think they should be able to slow Missouri's offense down here, and I'm going to take Boston College plus 2 at home in this one.
And in a week of slate of games where not the greatest, that's a really competitive game. Good information on that. I'll probably be drinking my Evan Williams in my new softball jersey. Winners get one of these, Alan. I'll see what we can do for you later on. And speaking of winners, you're off to a hot start for your clients. Give us a little info on that.
Off to a 6-3 start in college football. We're 3-1 in the NFL. You can go to thecashmanwins.com. We've got several packages there for less than $2 a week that you can join. And also follow on Twitter at thecashmanwins.
Hey, thanks again, Alan. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Scott.
All right. Love the Cash Man.
The Cash Man. What an awesome name. Like, if you're going to get into the sports betting business,
right?
Cash Man. What an amazing name. Like, my last name is Hammer, and I do radio.
And people don't believe you.
Right. People think that it's fake or whatever, but I got the driver's license to prove it. I'm not some attorney claiming to be a hammer. It's on my driver's license, baby. Let's dance.
People ask me if I'm related to David Lee, and I say
oh,
yes.
yeah. Indiana,
really
too.
not,
He grew up in Bloomington.
That's right. All right, but we love it. All your feedback on social media. You saw our Twitters. You're getting some blown up here. I like that.
My radio partner,
handles.
Big Nige, Nigel writes on his Facebook page, I'm sitting here in sweatpants and tube socks, eating Cheez-Its, watching Jason Hammer, Scott Long, and Mackenzie Roth drink tequila on live TV. Seems about right. Thank you.
That's great. That's great, Nigel.
Cheers, Big Nige. These are delicious.
Michael Clark sent us a picture of him watching the big show.
Nice.
Phil Sanchez
of Philly Phil.
Wish TV fame tweets at us. My guy, Jason Allen Hammer, killing it on the Wish TV betting show. Rob Kendall's watching. Again, tweet at all of us individually. I'm willing to bet somebody has more people in their DMs than us, but we welcome your messages all the time.
We do. And you can do other things while you watch. Like Phil is probably plucking those brows to make them perfect as he watches our show. We appreciate that.
You know, and I just blew the dust off of my direct messages. So let's move on. We got some more stuff.
Yeah, let's talk Texas A&M.
Yes, this is an interesting game today. You've got Texas A&M against Arkansas. This game is in Dallas. Now, if I'm Arkansas, I'm a little upset this game is not in my home stadium.
Right.
Texas A&M, one of the best defenses in all of America. This is a game that I do not have on my radar. Every once in a while, the odds makers just get things right.
Right.
They are so good at what they do.
Yeah.
An example is last night, the Liberty game against Syracuse. Liberty driving down the field, they're on the 3-yard line. If they score a touchdown and kick the extra point, they cover the spread. They don't score. Syracuse goes down, kicks a field goal, they win. That's the win-loss margin that these shark guys in Vegas do all the time.
You know,
and this is one of the lines in games that
Jason,
I'm completely avoiding.
I didn't want to mention the Liberty and Syracuse, but I had sent that in as one of my best bets for this week and then found out it was Friday. Doesn't really help to sell a game that actually was played, but that's how hot I was on Syracuse. Let's continue on with winners.
All right.
We will. We got some more picks coming up.
We certainly do. When we come back, we're going to stop at the Slippery Noodle. Ooh, to tell you how to make this fabulous drink. We'll be right back.
On the Rocks is brought to you by LUNAZUL Tequila. Feed the wolf.
Hello, friends. Brent Holverson here with Heaven Hill Brands, coming to you from the #1 and only live historic Slippery Noodle Inn, downtown Indianapolis. I'm here today with my great friend, beautiful Autumn here. She's going to talk to us a little bit about some great tequila that we have, and it is close and dear to my heart. LUNAZUL Tequila. What's going on today? What's hot? What's good shots?
So right now, just with shots alone, the LUNAZUL by itself is delicious. It's really smooth. It's an agave from Mexico, so you can't really get much smoother than that. It's also mixing well right now with pineapple juice. I think it's a summer trend, but you can do it just as a shot.
I'd love to try one, please.
Absolutely. It won't kill you.
And the good thing about LUNAZUL, like you say, very clean, very smooth, very easy drink. It also mixes really great in cocktails. But here's one for, let me see how you did here. This is pretty easy.
Try it out.
Easy.
I made it myself.
Very smooth, very smooth.
Yeah,
What else do we have today?
So with that, like I said, right now it's super popular is the LUNAZUL with just a little bit of pineapple juice. And it's just there's water in that at the bottom a little bit, so apologies. But yeah, it mixes very nicely. You can shake it. You don't have to because you can't really taste a whole lot of the LUNAZUL coming through. If you're not a big tequila fan, you can actually have a great summer cocktail without feeling like you're drinking a whole lot of liquor. So.
Absolutely. Super smooth, super easy. LUNAZUL Tequila, 100% Blue Weber agave, partnered with the Beckman family, and very, very proud to be part of the Heaven Hill portfolio. So, Autumn, thank you for great cocktails.
Thank you.
Come join us at the Slippery Noodle to grab one. Cheers.
Cheers. These are delicious. Absolutely. Hey,
I
cheers,
love
you guys.
Autumn, our bartender.
Isn't she great?
She is like the best. I just feel like she is essential Indiana bartender.
She certainly is. All right, we got to talk Big Ten. Scott, you're Mr. Big Ten guy. Why don't you kick us off?
You know, there is still, you can not just bet on games, but you can bet on who's going to win the Big Ten. Each week, the odds change. You can see here, it's never really a smart move, I think, to bet on the favorite. You don't get that much money. So you got to kind of find that potential team that could blow everything up.
Where's the value here, Scott? Where's the smart value?
I would say probably, I know this sounds very provincial on my part because I am an Iowa grad, but I would say Iowa just because their defense can shut everything down. If I was going to make a play, I would bet on Iowa. I don't think the West is as good as the East either. So if Iowa beats Wisconsin, they're in the championship game.
So really, do you think Michigan can beat Ohio State? Because really, for me, that's what this comes down to. Because Michigan's got great value, $20 bet that pays out $2.20.
Wow.
But I don't think they can beat Ohio State. I do think Penn State can, and $20 to win a hundy, that's not too bad right now. So again, if you want to jump on one of these teams, do it now. Because this is probably the best value you're going to get all season long.
That one looks good to me, like 20 to get a hundy. Yes.
Yeah.
Like that's. I feel safe to me, but exciting.
I think tomorrow on our NFL show, we should discuss where the Colts are at. Maybe just a little bit in winning the AFC South, because I do think there's a little value there, but it's a risk.
Okay, and that's at noon, so don't miss that. Hey, we want to do our picks coming up
Yes.
next?
I can't wait. Can't wait.
We'll get a little more loose, and we'll see you back here in just a few moments. Interesting suggestion from Jason Hammer, doing the show in robes.
Yes, I think the people, and you know me, I'm about giving the people what they want. They'd like to see all of us in robes.
Mackenzie, you seem like someone who wears a robe like a lot. Maybe you go to a spa and things like that.
A plush robe, I enjoy that.
The last time I wore a robe, I was 8 years old. I got one for Christmas. It was terry cloth.
Last time I wore a robe, I was in a suite at the Tropicana in Las Vegas, and I was walking around and I felt like Elliot Gould in Ocean's 11.
That's so great. Scott, by the way, nice done on that cocktail. All right.
I'm getting ready for my kids' soccer game, so.
Well, we got to get to our picks. All right, so here are my picks. The Mick pick. I'm going to go over on the Rutgers-Michigan game. Michigan capable of 30, 35. I mean, it just needs a little help from Rutgers. And don't forget, like, that sloppy fourth quarter could be your best friend.
Right, that garbage time fourth quarter always comes up big if you're betting the over.
I like sloppy better.
A little sloppy.
I'm with you. I like that pick a great deal.
All right, I like that.
So I am going to give you a couple wins here. We've already given you Wyoming. That was my pick from earlier in the show. It's a complete fade of UConn. I gave you a degenerate special, which was a complete fade of Kansas earlier in the show. So now let's turn our attention to Michigan State and Nebraska. This is a game that started with a little bit of a higher point spread, and now it is down to 4.5. I like what Michigan State's been able to do this year. They haven't played a soft non-conference schedule, went down to Miami, got a win. Nebraska money's coming in, but I like Michigan State to cover, and I think Iowa State. Ever since that loss they had to Iowa, they've been motivated. They know they still have a shot in this thing. I'll take Iowa State in this one, too.
Okay, Hammer, you ran your mouth so long, I hardly have any time to tell you my pick.
You're welcome, Indianapolis.
Yeah. Just read it off the screen. Toledo is going to probably cover against Ball State. I'm sorry, Ball State grads, including Hammer. Akron, 31.5. You can bet a halftime score. That means that just for one half, you have 31 points to work with. Isn't that crazy? So there you go with that one. And just like the Cashman, I love the University of San Antonio, Austin. So here we go. I'll take them +3 over Memphis. If you saw the Memphis-Mississippi State game, you are a true degenerate like me if you watched that game last week. Memphis had the referees in their pocket. They will not have it today.
Oh, here it is, the referee blaming. We've reached that point in the show where it's referee blaming. Okay.
Referee blaming. All right, we'll be right back. We'll head to the bar and see you in a second. Just a few.
All Indiana Bets is presented by LUNAZUL Tequila. Feed the wolf.
So you guys, you probably missed my graphic, and there's been a lot of calls at the station. People upset.
So many calls.
Where is Scott's graphic on his picks? I don't even know if we got him. I can repeat him again.
Okay, yeah, do. Go again.
Okay,
go
so
again. Go again.
Toledo. Over here.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Here, look at that. There they are.
I see the graphic.
Yes! And they appear.
But I know Ball State grads are like, come on, Ball State. This is the game of the year in the MAC already. It's weird, but I happen to think Toledo's got a lot more talent. So here we go. Go with, are they the Rockets, Toledo?
Toledo Rockets.
The Rockets versus the Cardinal today in MAC action. What you guys think about that?
Well, I think the folks at the Chug, I think the folks at the Village in Ball State may have something to say about that, but truth be told, I kind of like the pick.
What was that place in Muncie where the people danced for money? What was that called?
My living room. We do this show on the weekends.
The Hammer.
And we also do it on Sundays.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our goal is to make you as much money as we possibly can.
I mean, literally, that's why we are here.
And this guy, and it kills me to say,
I know.
you are rolling. Like, the run you're on is not normal.
It's
so
not.
Keep going. I'm going to give you more time to get these picks out there. Keep going.
And it kills me, does not kill me at all to hear that. I will just share. Do I have another one? So we rented these graphics. I want to make sure I'm getting it right. Okay, there we go. The first half. So here you go into the game. 30 basically points you have to work with just for the first half. You don't even have to watch the second half because it's a blowout and there's no, as we call what, sloppy end of game,
sloppy fourth quarter.
Sloppy fourth quarter. You don't have to worry about the fourth quarter, just the first half. So there's a fun one right there. And then we, of course, have the team that people are
Texas San Antonio,
I mean,
I believe.
people think it sounds like an insurance company. USTA. And the TA is my favorite part in the team.
TSA.
But what I will share with you is that this is a very good team. This team boat raced Illinois earlier. They're going to go into Memphis and shut down that 17 straight home game winning streak.
All right, I like that. I like that a lot.
I think the highlight for me today has been you complimenting my bartender skills.
I was uber impressed. I mean, you're like Tom Cruise back there in Cocktail.
Speaking of
way taller.
I've always said, like, how angry would you be if you were in that bar in Cocktail and you just want to get a cheap beer and he's up there flipping stuff around and reading poetry? You got to hit the can and all you want is a beer, and my man's up there trying to do everything he can to steal your girl away. Worst bar ever.
Women, I like that. I like a little showmanship.
You know, bringing up Uber impressed, I think we need to call an Uber. to get me to Grand Park. Because I got a big game coming up here.
LUNAZUL, this is the best tequila.
This is the best.
May the odds be in your favor, everybody. Mackenzie, you're going to win your bets. You're going to win your bets. I'm going to win my bets. We will do this tomorrow at noon to 1.
Yes, we can't wait.
And we're talking Colts. So big ideas about the Colts tomorrow.
All right, bottoms up, baby.
Kickoff next.